Happy Monday, y'all. Henry here saying thank you for joining us for Wisecrack Live. If everyone has a case of the Mondays, Dr. Mike will be in to look at it in just a moment. Also, nice to see all the green names there. Hello, Eddie. Hello, Alex. Hello, Beatmaster. Hello, A. Hickey. Also, thank you for your considerations. I wish I had a straight up plan, but I'll be looking out. Hey, Penny. Hope you're doing well this morning as well. Abdul, glad to hear you're taking care of yourself. You stay strong out there today, and if you have any questions, we'll have some fun in the chat this morning. That's the life, Brian. As you can tell from the title, it's going to be a bit of a chill, slowed down episode today. Has anyone seen Dune 2? I did not get to it this weekend for reasons, but I feel very asymmetrical as far as where I'm hearing about hype from it from. A lot of online, but not a lot of offline, not a lot of visibility in the streets. How are people feeling out there on Dune 2? Welcome, Callie. Good to hear, Beatmaster. I don't doubt it's excellent either. I was kind of amazed I was in less of a rush to see it, but also I got very busy this weekend with other obligations. Good to see we have over 100 people joining us. Don't forget to lick the stream as you come on in. I only see 20-something likes right now. Dr. Michael is almost ready to examine everybody's case and let them know if they have the Mondays. Welcome in, Dude Abides. And Porkin says, cough for Dr. Michael. While you're coughing, don't forget to lick the stem. Thank you, Matt. Love you as well.
What's up, everyone? So let's to get started. If anyone's had any recent updates to their insurance policies or anything like that, for me to fully diagnose who has a case of the Mondays, I'm gonna need to have all that information present. So I'm gonna give you some forms. You can fill those out. You'll pass those back to Henry. You'll then come in the room and you'll pee in a cup. You'll poop in a bowl. You'll put that in a box. I'll then take that and I'll be able to finally determine who does and doesn't have a case of the Mondays. Hello, everyone. It's March 4th. It's a Monday. It's the first Monday in March. Isn't the year flying by? I'm Michael Burns here with producer Henry on Wisecrack's Case of the Mondays. We're here every Monday, most Mondays, almost every Monday to hang out a little bit. This is the companion to our, main event stream, Wisecrack Live. This is the shot, and the Wisecrack Live is the full beer if you don't drink alcohol. This is the tiny vial of like vitamin C juice, and Wednesday is a big green smoothie for you. So excited to have everyone here. Good to see everyone in the chat. We really have some legends in the chat today. Unfortunately, I don't take any of your guys' insurance, so this is all going to get billed straight to you.
Oh, phew.
Yeah,
I had
we,
complicated questions about dental, but since you don't take any insurance, that just makes it a lot easier.
yeah, we are a no insurance operation here at the office. So there you go. But good to see everyone in the chat. Good to see Ann Porkins and Extraneous and Beatmaster and Eddie and A Hickey and Penny, Abdul, Sig Bungus, Alex, lots of folks. Please, Dude Abides is up there. Like the stream if you're here. It's helpful. It's like the thing. If you're here, like the thing. And Porkins is busy just slopping it up. So we're going to let them stay on slop duty. Alex, I like what you're saying, but I can't talk about that. Here's a fun thing, guys. Penny, I got to watch the ContraPoints video. I haven't had the 3 hours yet.
Yeah.
A bunch of our old streams and old videos got deleted off the platform by YouTube, and we were given a big fat warning because they were the ones that mentioned a company called Schedule 35. Because supposedly YouTube, after like a year, was like, maybe you guys shouldn't get to freely advertise products that are maybe ILLEGAL. So that was pretty fun. What's up, Matt? I enjoy our parasocial relationship too. Daniel Santiago Hurtado, thank you for being here as well. But so if you ever wanted to watch those videos, you can't anymore. So big week here. Thank you so much for watching the video that came out on Friday. It's a video that we kind of talked about here, prepping for it. It was a video on Mr. Beast, but really a way to talk about the digital media economy and YouTube more generally. It is the video where I dropped the exclusive story about the time I interviewed for a position at Mr. Beast Industries. It was very weird, and if you watch the video, you might have had questions, you might have had thoughts, you might have wondered what was going on. You might have wondered, why was Michael interviewing for a job? Doesn't he love us? Why would he want to leave us? What did I do to drive daddy away? It was honestly just a ploy for me to try to get a job offer someplace so I could leverage it. Ooh, I did something with my microphone that's going to fall down. Sorry, guys. This is what happens when I try to do things. It was it was a ploy to try to get a raise, because sometimes in work you get a job offer and you say to your employer, well, I got this offer, and I thought if I did that they would be like, oh, here's more money, but Mr. Beast did not want me. Everyone was so rude there. They were so rude, guys. It was really, really weird. And every question they asked me what was insane. And there were all these questions about like physical production and how I would rent trains and buy bricks, and what I would do if I had to take Mr. Beast and the boys to Vegas for 24 hours. And I kept saying things like, because here's the thing, I didn't apply for the job, guys. They like reached out to me. So I'd assumed they had some sense of like who I was or what I did. And I just kept being like, oh, I write things. I do research, and I don't know if you've seen the videos that I make. And they just kept asking me like, yeah, but what if you had to buy a space shuttle and fill it with a bunch of teens covered in piss? And I was like, this is not what I even do. So it was really weird. I didn't like it at all. It wasn't fun. And then the crazy thing too is you have to move to they're a tiny town in North Carolina, but the way the jobs go is they only give you like a 3-month guarantee. So let's say I would have gotten offered a job there and taken it. You have to move like across the country to move in a small town in North Carolina. And then after 3 months, they might be like, never mind. Like, that's insane. That's really insane. But I will say this, the salary they were offering is it's a lot. It's a lot more than I make currently. So there was this part of me when I was thinking like, I could move to North Carolina, get the salary, and just like get a big house. And I guess I would just have my house to hang out in. But then the article that we looked at from Time on Mr. Beast, we talked about in the video, you know, reminds one that you don't really have time to work if you work there because they make you work all the time. Also, I just don't think I'm someone who could get regularly yelled at by 25-year-olds. I just don't think I don't think I have that in me, to be honest. But we can talk more about walls and trains later. But thanks for watching that video. Thanks for commenting. We'll look at some comments in a second. I'll say, the controversy, if there is some around that video in the comments, seems to be that the video has a sponsor. Is a sponsor that is a company that offers mental health services that a lot of people do not like for various reasons. And it's really interesting because there's a small number, and I think even some of you in the chat are part of this community, who in the comments have noted like, yes, this makes sense. This video is about how it feels really toxic and weird to be producing things in this context because you're irrevocably tied up with market mechanisms and sponsors and algorithms, and it feels icky. So of course, when Wisecrack has a sponsor in this very video, like they're describing the thing that's happening. I feel like a lot of you get that. But there's all these other people that are like really crazy to describe how toxic the YouTube world is and then have a sponsor. And I'm just like, no, but that's the whole point, right? Because to get a little esoteric here, we do not make videos. When we make a video about the digital economy and about YouTube, we're making it from within that system, right? We're not external to that system critiquing from some objective place. We are subjectively enmeshed within that system from which we are leveling that critique. So, when the thing people say, which I'm starting to say less because I see the limits of this logic, but the no ethical consumption under capitalism thing, the reason people say that is the idea being, when you are enmeshed inside of a system, you cannot abstract yourself from the moral mechanisms of that system. You cannot do it because you are within that context. Like a fish can't decide that it's against water. That is the environment in which it lives. So when there's criticisms of the use of advertisers in a video on YouTube discussing how horrible it is that we have to be dependent on those things, and I don't want to be disrespectful to people who, Ann Porkin says, you participate in YouTube, yet you criticize it. So, yeah, and I think like the irony of it, it's interesting because some people pointed out the irony as if like it was ironic that we were doing it. Other people like you, lovely chat people, thanks for being here, thanks for liking the stream, pointed out the more like meta-systemic irony, which is, I think, what's at play. Someone I saw a comment today, I don't think Henry pulled this one, and I'm not going to bring up the person's name, but one of the most recent comments literally said that rather than use ads, we should all quit our jobs and get other jobs and just do Wisecrack as a passion project.
I didn't
And
see that one. Whoa.
Yeah, I tried to be really kind in my response to the person, but I will be very honest with you all. It made me very upset that this person is just like, oh, just get a job. What, at the job factory? And then the idea as well that we shouldn't. It's more moral to not make money off the channel from taking sponsors and then get a job. But it's like, what should I do? Go get a job at Amazon, participating in the mechanisms of Jeffrey Bezos? Is that better? Should I do that?
Yeah, it's all participation under capitalism.
Yeah, like what? And I guess it would be one thing if you were like, yeah, go be like a mental health counselor for teens suffering trauma. Like that would be great. That's a very ethical thing to do. Sadly, I do not have the training for that. So it's a tough one. And, someone, yeah, Eddie wants to know more about the job factory. I really appreciate that someone in the comments as well today said something to the effect of like, hey, everyone's complaining about the ads on the free videos. but you could just give them $1 a month on Patreon, which would help. And thanks to so much of you, I assume some of you are part of this group. In the past week, a ton of new people have signed up for Patreon, and I cannot emphasize enough how much that means and how much that helps. It feels so shameless to keep bringing this up, but the reason for bringing this up is to say it's a way to like make money directly from the audience and not have to be ingrained in the advertising mechanisms that some of you like so little. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for those of you who have done that, who have like told and encouraged other people to do that. That's very cool. It means a lot to us. And know that we're aware of all this, but I'm glad the video is doing well because we've been in YouTube jail for a while. But let's look at some comments from that video that producer Henry pulled. Is the first one that comes up for you the one that's from Boltar? Great. This is from Boltar11. It says, YouTube. Oh, this is really fun. YouTube. We feel that our advertisers don't want to be associated with your content due to its nature of not being child friendly. Also, YouTube on child friendly videos. Here's a hentai pseudo gambling phone app ad. Yeah. It's the restrictions on things are crazy, and the way in which YouTube will at times. I mean, I even kind of felt this when YouTube came down on us for mentioning Schedule 35, a company that produces psilocybin-based products, came down on us hard for that. It's sort of like, yeah, but you like promote apps to get kids to download them where they put in their parents' credit card information. And, it's really weird where the lines get drawn in these sorts of things. And I think that Google-based companies like YouTube like to feign a certain human ethical thing that's not real.
Yeah, having done like animation stuff in the past, you're kind of flying in the dark on YouTube, it feels, as far as like, you're doing stuff for kids, but you don't know where the age line is. And like gaming content gets weird because modders will put in something from pop culture, like say the Xenomorph from Aliens in Fortnite. And so suddenly you have something from like an R-rated movie franchise and something a lot of like 10 to 13-year-olds are playing, and it confuses like where the line of like, where are the norms as far as what's vulgar and what's not in that form of entertainment.
Yeah. The next comment, I'm glad you pulled this one. I'll say this, guys. In general, I'm not one who, if someone who is like cool comments or hits us up, I'm not one to be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. This comment is an oh my God, oh my God, oh my God for me. J. Kenji Lopez Alt, a famous food writer, does stuff for the New York Times, has his own YouTube channel, was on Serious Eats, has an amazing, huge cookbook that I got from my friend Dave as a wedding present. It's like the best cookbook I've ever had. Just like one of the coolest people on the internet that does things related to food, left a comment and said, just letting you know, I appreciate you all and the effort you put into making quality content that actually makes you think, teaches me things. So nice. This is someone who I've made so many of this man's recipes. If you guys don't already watch his videos, I'm sure many of you do. It's like some of the best food content. Do you watch his stuff, Henry? Ever?
No, I do not.
Oh, you should. And yeah, he has a recipe that was in the New York Times recently that's these like Vietnamese garlicky noodles. And someone as well who writes about food and makes food videos that are very like inclusive and user friendly. Someone who teaches you how to make very cool shit, but will also teach you how to make like a simple dinner that's delicious and affordable. So that's very exciting. That made me very happy. It's cool to get cool comments from people like that. Now this comment from my brother James. Now, not my brother James. I have 14 dads, but I have 0 brothers. Says, I actually think YouTube is the most supportive and most toxic of social media communities. This one's interesting. I'm curious what people in the chat think. I think that I agree with this because, evidence number one, you guys in the chat right now and all the stuff that you all say regularly and your likes and your comments and our conversation, you're the best. I love many of you very, very much. Some of you more than others. Maybe next week I'll give my top 10 list of who of you I love the most. But truly people who I think of as some part of my life, and people I think of is I don't know, if not friends, at least digital acquaintances at this point. And that doesn't happen on a lot of other platforms, but this is also a platform where people tell me that I should quit my job and not be able to take my kid to the doctor, or that I should die, or that I'm an ugly piece of shit. Also, I will say this, I asked people to guess my height in the most recent video. A lot of people think I'm really short. I was kind of surprised by that. I didn't know that I put off short man energy, and I don't know what that means exactly. I don't know what it is about me. I mean, people are like literally guessing that I'm 6 inches shorter than I am. It's just interesting. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I was surprised when I asked people to guess my height. But yeah, that's my thought on that. What do you think about that notion, Henry, that YouTube is like the best of times and worst of times?
I think it has survived and remained endearing to me in ways other web platforms have not. Something about the curated participation nature of like running a YouTube channel and kind of like the maintenance you have to do on that. I think drives the participants on YouTube to keep it alive in ways that I don't know other social media sites, if we're considering YouTube among like Twitter, Facebook, social networks that have tried to like be content based things. I don't know. YouTube's just maintained a sort of interest in quality bar to me that I don't know, something like Facebook just totally lost in 2018, 2019, etc.
Yeah. Um, I mean, some people actually got the thing that I'm not a short king. Oh, Justin Boyd called me Tiny Mike.
I do
Um,
wonder how much of the height estimation
he would.
stuff is people just associating. I don't know. Is there something to like the intellectual that they think is small?
I don't know. Zach Jackson gets it. Justin Boyd said, "I would like you more if you were shorter than me." Actually, Justin, what is our height relationship? Are you like an inch or two taller than me? I don't know. I don't see height. I just see people. I just see humans. But that's just the sort of person that I am. Really, really motivated by civil rights and things like that. And Porkins says, "Big brain, little guy." You know what I'm just gonna say? I'm gonna say that I'm 5'5" now. It's gonna be my new thing. And if you meet me in life and you say you're 5'5", I'm gonna say yes, I'm 5'5". This is what 5'5" looks like. Um, like one of those shirts. It's like this is what a feminist, this is what a socialist looks like. Mine's gonna say this is what 5'5" looks like. I think we have one more comment from that video. And thank you. Oh, sorry. Sure more. This one says, when you were talking about the algorithms, I was reminded that while we are all up in arms about AI generated art. Oh, this is good. This is a good comment. I mean, obviously they're good because they're good comments in general because they come from you all, but they're also good because producer Henry curated them. Everyone on YouTube is regularly enjoying AI generated content, not because the people making it are AI, but because they will only create content that is approved for consumption by AI. Yeah. So this is one of the big points of that video, right? That when people are creating content, what a word. Every time I say that word, I want to just like, whoa. But when people are creating content on a place like YouTube or a number of digital platforms, or of course like television and film, they cannot help but internalize the mechanisms that produce and fund and distribute that content into their thinking for how they make the thing. So if I'm making YouTube stuff, I can't just think, what is the thing that I want to make because I think it's good, entertaining, funny, smart, valuable? I have to think, what are the mechanisms of the platform that will lead to success and how can I internalize those things? So a very simple example of this is people will like make a video on this platform where they have to ask questions like, how often is there a pattern disruption in this thing so that the brain of the audience will be stimulated and not click away in this hyper competitive market for attention, and that leads to then the form of the content itself. We talked about how people have to consider like titles and thumbnails and all this stuff. So, it's interesting because the algorithm thing works both ways. And we talked about this in the Mr. Beast video in relationship to like Marx's conception of capital, where, used to have like a CMC relationship where there's like commodities and money is just for the purpose of like exchanging the commodities. But then under capitalism, the commodity is just there for the exchange of money and capital. And we kind of talked, and this is like it's a loose analogy in a way of thinking about this, that in a contemporary digital media context, that it's sort of like an ACA thing, not the Affordable Care Act, but that, the algorithm determines what type of content is made, but that content only serves to further bolster, algorithmic mechanisms and things like that. So the thing itself, the work of art made by the person, is incidental to the mechanisms of an algorithm, which is really fun, and it feels really good to exist in that. Checking in with the chat. Justin Boyd says M to M. We're still discussing height. I'm just a little guy. Yes, I am 5'5". This is a thing that everyone should know. A Hickey does know that my love can be bought with cash. That's completely true. The future is female. No, the future is 5'5". I also agree with that comment. 5'5" and 14 daddies. Yes. Koga's first time watching live stream, says, hello, friends. Thank you for being here. We're glad to have you here. And thank you, Justin Boyd. It's very good to know that, Justin Boyd is in the chat, is a very, very good writer of television and other things. And he's just hanging out with everyone. You should be honored by his presence. I won't say any more because I feel like he's relatively private person in some ways. Mike's here. Glad to have caught a stream. Just quit your job. Oh man. Well, that job sounds wild. I hope that you are doing okay. Evan said, is the question, how should one define success without the common paradigms of money or popularity? I don't even know. I mean, that's the thing too. We got into this in terms of the video that came out on Friday is, there's a quote in the Time article where Mr. Beast himself, it is crazy that he's really tall, says, we just want to make the best content. And it is that, I mean, it's like a silly question and it's a little abstract, but it's like, what does best mean in that context? Does best mean like the ability to keep attention the longest? I don't know. That kind of sucks if that's what best means these days. Like, I think like watching television, I might get caught up watching a show like Love is Blind on Netflix, right? But when I watch 3 episodes, at the end of it, was it the best at keeping my attention? Sure. But do I feel good after watching it? No. Does it leave me thinking about things? No. Am I engaging with the ideas that come up in the thing after the fact? Absolutely not. Whereas, and I'm really behind on this, but I finally finished The Curse this past weekend. I've been watching it very slowly. But, a show like The Curse, like, in some ways hard to watch, uncomfortable to watch, doesn't keep me locked in like a dating reality show about weird right-winger casual eugenicist and little cubes, but gives me things to think about after the fact. I did not mean to really go so deep into the 5'5" conversation, but we did. One more comment. Let's look at that. It says, great video. That was from Jay Gamboa. That Kierkegaard quote had me literally stop what I'm doing while watching this to process. Money being the desire that solves all problems. Even in the hobbies that I have, specifically to not convert leisure into labor, I'm struck by how often I think, if I were to buy this thing, it would let me enjoy this more. Capitalism seeps in my ability to enjoy something I consciously tried to avoid being a side hustle. Yes, that is a huge thing, guys. It's hard, right, to have a hobby or an interest that our brain doesn't think like, how can I monetize that? Now, of course, the reason that our brains think that is because that desire has been implanted in us by a system that tells us that we should always be like hustling. I forgot this is Positive Vibes Monday. I haven't even acknowledged yet. There was positive vibes. So we're gonna kick it. We're gonna get real positive.
We'll move into it.
Yeah, but now that we're already halfway through, but the point there being that, yeah, it's hard sometimes to conceive of an activity being valuable outside of that activity's ability to participate in the economy in some way, shape, or form. Like, embarrassingly or in a silly way, my like non-moneyed hobby I spend time on is like playing music, playing in a cover band. And sometimes I even have to find myself being like, oh, but if we just did this, we could play at a bar that'll pay us $400 and not just $200. That money is split 6 ways, by the way, friends. It is no money at all. But yeah, so it's hard sometimes to find things that one enjoys just for the sake of enjoying them. And it's almost that question of like, what does it mean to do something, make something that doesn't have an economic, and even the way that like people will say, oh, I got into hiking because it makes me feel better and I'm more productive at work. Like that sucks, you know?
Yeah, when you're
To like to do something that's good only because it makes you more productive.
but
That sucks.
that's one of the tenets of profit maxing through Buddhism.
Guys, profit maxing through
But yeah,
Buddhism is
bringing up
really,
the question of success, yeah, how do you measure success? Is it by like the economic outcome, or by like I get into like these notions of like just like the well-being of the person doing the thing? Does it alleviate and
yeah.
stabilize for them like their happiness, their health?
Mhm. Yeah. And you know,
What
the
makes
thing
you
too,
happy?
yeah. And that's the thing too, like, do you think in reading that Mr. Beast article is like, do these humans seem happy? I don't know. And you know, I'll say one thing before we get really positive. You know, I think I kept it pretty politic in that video. But I really think the stuff they make is really bad. And I think that, you know, some of it, like I think modern like prank and stunt videos are just like soulless, dehumanized, capitalist fueled simulacrums of like Jackass. And I've talked about this before. I made 2 videos
Yes.
about this that no one has watched. Go watch the Jackass videos if you guys want to make me happy. But, you know, the great thing about Jackass is those things are grounded in meaninglessness, friendship, camaraderie, and doing things for the pure sake of joy, surprise, and boundary pushing. They're not mean spirited. They're not, you know, sponsored by whatever. Actually, they were sponsored by Miller for one movie, but that rips. They're just great. But let's talk about positive stuff, okay? And I want everyone in the chat to participate in this too. Also, if you did like that quote, Beatmaster's right though. A $10,000 PRS would make me a rock star. And Beatmaster, to be honest, I spent hours this weekend watching videos on guitar effects pedals, convincing myself that if I had some new ones, then my cover band shows would really go so much better. You know, shameless plug if anyone does, I posted a link to it on my personal Twitter today. I put up the video from a half of my cover band show over the weekend. It was a pretty good set. It was a brunch show for a bunch of hippies. What's up, Yoga Misum? But and that quote as well from Kierkegaard is from, I think I have the book near me. Yep. Let's get it out. So this book right here, there's different versions of it. I like this one best because I like the aesthetic of the cover. It's called The Present Age on the Death of Rebellion by Kierkegaard. It's like one of my favorite things ever. It's very short. This book this includes like a long intro and another essay. The Present Age itself is super short. Let me see how many pages it is. It's like from here to here. That's it. You could look it up online. It's just awesome. It's awesome. And it gets it a lot of the stuff that I talk about on the channel and that you might get through things I say about stuff. All right here, baby. So check that out. Back on the pile. But yeah, check that book out. So we want to be positive, right? We want to go into Monday with some good vibes. I think some recent stuff. Mike said, everyone knows hippies don't eat brunch. Yeah, but they kept leaving to smoke weed outside. So, you know, hippies, they do something. I'll share this fact as well. A very nice hippie came up after the show and said, for the tip jar. And he handed me a $1 bill and a plastic bag with a bunch of joints inside of it. I know I shouldn't mention DRUGS on the stream, and for YouTube purposes, it's not good. I was very upset that he gave me that. And I think that
You were talking about like door joints, right? Like hinges?
if it were up to me, you would get the death penalty for having marijuana. If it were up to me, every US citizen would get mandatorily drug tested every 3 days. And if there was any drugs in your system, even too much Tylenol, you would get the death penalty. That's just what I believe. The book is this. I saw someone ask by Kierkegaard, The Present Age. David, I promise you that it's way more approachable than you think. I think I might talk about it. So I'm going to record. We have a new episode of Philosophy Office Hours coming out this week on Patreon. Shameless plug. And that's the monthly video series where, you know, for like 20 to 40 minutes, I just talk in more length about some of the ideas we're exploring in videos, things I'm thinking about myself. And yeah, so I'm going to record one of those, that sort of thing as well. Yes, I did take the hard right today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking the stream. It means a lot. Um, yeah, Andres, you're done. You guys are all done. Again, just a reminder, this whole thing is a psyop. This whole thing is like, we are the feds. We are tracking your data. Whenever you say something that's problematic in this chat, like, you're done. Ann Porkin says you get a pocket full of Spike Lee joints. Yes. Inside Man, in the pocket. Bamboozled, in the pocket. School Days, in the pocket. Do the Right Thing, in the pocket. HBO original documentary series When the Levees Break, in the pocket. Did anyone watch that Spike Lee COVID documentary? That one got really weird and kind of bad. But then I started liking Spike Lee again when he posted about how excited he was from his Tesla Cybertruck. I was like, we're back, baby. We're back.
I didn't see that. He's a Cybertruck guy?
Yeah, it's not great. So in the chat, here's what I want to know first of all. Who saw Dune 2 this weekend? I did not see it, so no spoilers. But I want to know that. And then I want to talk about positive stuff. What are we liking? What are things that are making us happy, right? Because we've gone a little bit, I don't want to say negative, but realist, if we want to be Mark Fisher-ish, capitalist realist on recent streams and videos. So let's just talk about some stuff that's making us happy, stuff that we're liking. I'll start with something. A musician I like a lot, Faye Webster, put out a new album on Friday. I think it's called Underdressed at the Symphony. I like it a lot. Faye Webster is a musician I appreciate very much. The last time I saw her live, I'd never felt more old in my life because I didn't realize that she had gone like TikTok viral. So I went to see one of her concerts and I felt like I was 50 years older than everyone else there, which means that everyone there was like negative 11 years old. But yeah, she's a younger, like, I guess you could say indie folky singer, songwriter person from Atlanta, but she also has like Lil Yachty on the new album and a song in autotune. It also features my favorite guitar player in the whole world, Nels Cline, features on the record. He's very old. He makes me look young, but it's a really fun album. I like it very much. She's great. Faye Webster. I would check that out if we're looking for music. Yeah, Ann Porkins, didn't see that, so you can listen to it. And a very different frame, Schoolboy Q also came out with a new album called Blue Lips. Very different, but I like that very much as well. So both listening to those albums was good. Positive stuff, happy stuff, listening to music, all that sort of stuff. Ann Porkins, you are right. You did the math. You won. Like the stream. Thanks for being here. Henry, what's a thing that you're feeling positive about? Something you've enjoyed, something you want to share with the class?
In the vein of doing sheer craft for no money and just the joy of doing something entertaining with friends, Wisecrack's very own director Lux and I participated in streaming Fight Opera this past weekend. And it was a great piece of comedy wrestling entertainment we got to stream. It's up on Twitch. We can share that with people. But it was a comedy wrestling show.
Share a link.
Yeah, it was a comedy wrestling show. We had it at a new venue here in Austin, Texas. The crowd loved it. Technically, it was extremely impressive, fast-moving, and just a hell of a spectacle. Was extremely sore and tired the day after, but yeah, feeling great that I got to kind of do something in the real world, considering, again, how realist we've been here on live. Also,
yeah,
in the vein of, something jackassy, I saw that Freddy Got Fingered is on the Criterion channel now.
Yes. Oh my God, guys. This is, as you can tell, I'm speechless. Guys, Freddy Got Fingered is on Criterion. Tom Green's masterpiece. If you are younger, right? If you were born in like the 90s or something, and if I say the name Tom Green and that means nothing to you, if I say Freddy Got Fingered and that means nothing to you, do not Google any of this. Know nothing. And get on the Criterion channel and watch the movie Freddy Got Fingered. Pause it 10 minutes in and hit me up and let me know what you're thinking thus far. Guys, it's something else. And it will shock. It makes me feel old in so much as I can't believe that in my lifetime, a major studio paid money to someone to make this. It is, I assume, have you seen it, Henry?
Yes, it's a favorite.
Yeah, guys, it is just
the relationship he has with the love interest in that movie was radical for its time, and it is still surprising in its execution to this day.
Yeah. I mean, just my God. So watch Freddy. It's so validating that it's on Criterion.
Yeah,
It's the most like validating thing ever because Criterion's like good. Criterion Channel's awesome. It's like one of the best streaming services, and the fact that they put it there is just crazy.
and to its defense, again, bringing up that relationship thing, I remember last time I watched Freddy Got Fingered, it was with a few friends in the middle of like an early to mid-aughts comedy movie marathon, and it definitely was the one that aged the best compared to stuff like Road Trip or The American
Yeah.
Pies.
So the funny thing about you bringing up those movies is at my bachelor party, we watched both Freddy Got Fingered and Road Trip. And Road Trip largely because Tom Green is in it as well. But I think people sometimes worry, like, oh no, my future husband and the fellows are doing a bachelor weekend. They're gonna go to a strip club or smoke cigars or do whatever. Me and the fellows just
There's too much cheese in the cheese sandwich.
Oh my God. So that's great. That's a very positive thing that exists. Also make sure, Henry, that you share the links to the wrestling show. Also, do follow Henry on Twitter. What's your Twitter username, Henry?
Hisbell Beatty. It's a bit of a roll, but I'll share it.
Yeah. So make sure, and if you're in Texas, and I'm not even going to say Austin, if you're anywhere in Texas, I don't quite understand it. I hear that Texas is a very small state. It's just one tiny. It's like the
I can
Delaware
see El Paso from my window
of the Southwest. Yeah. So if you want to follow Henry and Lux, because if you're in Texas, you want to go see these things in real life, and then you can report back on their heights, because that's all we care about. Lux is someone who I knew Lux for years before I met him in person. Was someone who like I could have gone either way on height with Lux. So I wasn't like surprised when I first met Lux because I was like, this guy could go either way. So there, yeah, it's on there. There's a link on Twitch, so please check that out. Let us know what you're feeling positive about in the chat, guys. We're very curious. Yeah, Road Trip and Stealing Harvard were some great weird films. Let's see. Oh yeah, Andreas NYC says Freddy Got Fingered is a movie that ages better as the years go by because we start to understand how capitalism affects arts, especially with all these reboots coming out. Henry, did you see Dune 2?
No, I've not seen Dune 2. The wrestling show kind of kept me busy throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
I do plan on seeing it this week, though.
Yeah.
I liked the first one. I'm not a super fan of the book, but like I'm a general fan of it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, there's things I'm going to see it. I'm at a point in my life where I just don't have it in me like I used to see everything like, Thursday afternoon when it comes out and like reserve a seat and get tickets. So I'm kind of waiting till it slows down a little. I'm excited to see it. I'm glad that we're through February being the worst movie month of the year.
I was spending February playing more of a 2023 catch-up, which I saw some good stuff that way. Iron Claw was real fun. I've been thinking on that one more and more because I was kind of surprised with how much it wasn't the sports movie I was anticipating it to be going in.
Yeah. I mean, I would say Iron Claw, and I feel this is positive, guys. I'm going to be vulnerable. It's positive to be vulnerable. I'm a bit of a crier when it comes to movies. I'm not a crier in life. I think maybe it's like Irish Catholic upbringing stuff. I only can express emotion via. This is going to sound so bad.
I can definitely see that with Iron Claw. Did you like the Tom Hardy movie Warrior by chance?
I didn't see Warrior. I should. But yeah, I can only express emotion via the consumption and experience of art. And, this isn't a spoiler, but in the line like, "We'll be your brother's dad." Holy shit. I had to stop myself from like sobbing in a movie theater. I'm also a big Zac Efron head, and I wasn't historically, but ever since Beach Bum,
yes,
I've just like been buying all the stock.
He is an angel
in Zac Efron. Movie. Yeah. All is forgiven, man. We're washed in the blood. If you have also, I mean, this is in a weird way, I don't think there's like too many logical leaps from Freddy Got Fingered to Harmony Korine. But if you haven't seen Beach Bum as well, that's a movie that for a few years of my life, I was like, oh, this movie just like gets it. This movie just gets it. Guys, in this movie, Matthew McConaughey, Zac Efron, Jimmy Buffett, rest in peace, actual Jimmy Buffett, Snoop Dogg, actual Snoop Dogg. It's a hell of a film. Hank Hill cries in movies
Snoop
too, so there
Dogg's
you go.
improv skills are amazing. I just remembered most of his Beach Bum performance is improv, and you
Yeah,
can tell when someone's bad at improv on a movie. It does not play well at all. And Snoop Dogg's smooth as hell in Beach Bum. It is an
yeah.
excellent improv performance. Some of the other
I
improv
think
performances in that very movie are nowhere near as good as what Snoop Dogg is doing.
so. I've heard it said before that the reason a lot of rappers have been good when they dip their toes in acting is that like rap itself has always involved the performance of persona. That it's part of the writing and the performing of the music in a way that's different than other forms of music, so that you know, like a good rapper is used to just doing a character. I mean, speaking of, I haven't watched it yet. I know Vince Staples has a Netflix show um, that came out. I want to watch. Also, speaking of that, friend of the show, Udoye Travis. So he hosts a complex show on YouTube. It's called like Deep Thoughts or Getting Deep or something. It's really good. And the most recent episode features Vince Staples. And on the show, Udoye, who you guys all know, will ask someone a question, and then the next question will be like, what do you think about like the meaning of art in a decaying climate where the planet's dying, yada, yada. He does, if you've seen him on the show, he says stuff that's like the stuff that he would say, but you should check it out. What's up, MK Ultra? Someone said Beach Bum. You mean
What
the
up?
Definitely Not Soulless remake of Baywatch? Someone brought up Childish Gambino, which reminds me I need to finish watching Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which I was enjoying while I could watch it. What are we liking in the chat, guys? Let us know some stuff that you are enjoying. Alex said the Vince Staples show was pretty solid. I definitely need Vince Staples to talk about stuff more often. He's very funny. Vince Staples is someone who's like off the cuff, an incredibly funny person. I'm trying to think of other things that
Yeah,
I have found.
I actually just
What
remembered
do you? Yeah, give us some stuff.
because of the Harmony Korine, like he's working on Aggro Drift with Travis Scott right now, which is being shot like in infrared entirely.
I think it's out, or it's at least like it's
I
been
think it's
shown.
in like festival run mode right now, maybe. But yeah, I do want to
Yeah,
look into that. That is something I am looking forward to. I have liked Harmony Korine's like I've liked Spring. I liked Beach Bum. I like Spring Breakers. I kind of like his more recent work a lot.
yeah.
Something I've been reading that's newish and not just like I have been, something that's from this year that I've been enjoying is Ultimate Spider-Man. Jonathan Hickman,
Ooh,
he's the current writer on Ultimate Spider-Man. This is the currently running in publication kind of a Spider-Man monthly out there. There's only 2 issues right now, but because of comic book convolutions, it's kind of a fresh start on a Peter Parker that was never bitten by the spider as a teenager. He's an adult. He has kids. He's in his 30s. He's married to Mary Jane. And at this point in his life, he comes into contact with the spider. And
that rips.
because like none of the teenage stuff happens, certain characters that you're typically expecting to be dead within the Spider-Man universe are alive. Certain characters who are typically villains are heroes instead, and it's setting up a lot of cool exploration of like very traditional Spider-Man questions of power and responsibility, but through a middle-aged Peter Parker who's wondering if he's playing catch up with someone he was never supposed to be, and if that's like
Yeah.
something he shouldn't be
I,
doing, and just it's about like not being afraid to like still learn new things as you age.
that freaking rips. I want to check that out. I want to get back into reading comics more. Comics movies aren't good anymore. Nathanato said, I read that Matt Singer biography of Siskel and Ebert. That's awesome. I really like that book. It is canon that one of the subjects of that book is my father-in-law, and that's not a bit. That's actually not a bit. That's a real thing. We got True Detective. A lot of people bringing up Shogun. Shogun sounds really good. It looks really good. People seem to like it. I want to check that out.
Yeah.
Constellation on Apple TV from Beatmaster. Constellation looks good, and I love the main actor in it, the Icelandic woman. I forget her name, but that looks pretty cool. Let's see. Someone still brought True Detective, Tokyo Vice, and there's a new season of that. People seem to be liking the octopus murder. A Spaceman with Adam Sandler. I want to watch that, guys. I don't know if you remember this. The writer of
Colby
Spaceman,
Day.
Colby Day, came on our stream. That was during the writer's strike. So I think we asked Colby when that happened if he would come back when the movie came out, and he said he would. So maybe we should watch that and then have him come on and talk about it. Aunt Morgan's my father-in-law is not one of my 14. My biological 14 fathers. You do with that information Naomi Rapis or whatever. Mr. Domino has been watching You Don't Mess with the Zohan on repeat. Are you okay? Blink twice. If you're not okay. Yeah, so there's some good stuff going on. How about let's like wrap up with this. Any like life practices that people are enjoying? I'm gonna bring up an example. I've started drinking tea more. I'm not normally a tea drinker, normally a coffee guy.
Nice.
And I've been drinking tea in the evening, especially, non-caffeinated teas, and I've been enjoying it. I think it's nice. It's relaxing, helps me sleep better. I think I brought it before, as I drink less alcohol, especially less alcohol at night. God, I'm just sleeping better. But I'm loving some tea. Eddie, we will do a wisecrack about height, why height matters. I don't know if this is still. I wonder if this is still the case with kids now. But when I was in elementary school, especially with the boys, height was the key determiner of the social hierarchy. That was it. But what else? Is there anything you can think of that's like that for you, Henry? Like a thing
Yeah,
you've been doing
I've
in
definitely
life
been trying
that's
to
just
do
like been a
more.
nice positive thing?
Yeah, I am fitness minded. I do go to the gym. I do exercise and such. I have been
Hell yeah.
focused more on like cardiovascular activity just because I have concerns about smoking and how that affects things
Yeah.
like my lungs and heart. So I've been more
Yeah.
consistently on that, and I've been hitting strength goals that I really like as far as like benchmarks and like how much I can lift versus
Yeah.
how much I weigh and all that.
That sounds amazing. I wish I could lift weight.
Yeah, I
I
do.
can't.
I have been enjoying this discourse over the past few weeks of just like where the politics of lifting in America. It's extremely silly to me, but it does seem to be like shifting at least the conversation towards like, hey, at least like take care of yourself, man.
Um, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Eddie came out as a short guy, but we still love him. We still love Eddie. Eddie's probably on the top 10 list. I'll be honest. That's the only one I'll give away this far. Eddie's probably on the top. When I do the top 10 next week, Eddie's in. Those other 9 spots are open. So you have, campaign season has begun. Saga the Quiet Kill
Learning
is learning
Italian.
Italian. That rules.
You know what? I
Buongiorno.
I always get hung up when it comes to learning a language. I dive into Spanish regularly. There's I don't know. What are some tips people have as far as like language learning goes, and what are they finding effective this year as it grows?
Yeah. Oh, Porkins does the coffee naps. I love a good where you take the coffee and then you take the nap and then you wake up and the coffee makes you feel good. A couple things before we wrap up. If you have not liked the stream yet, for the love of God, and this is a Christian stream, so we all love God, please like it. Just a reminder again, I'm sure all of you know this, but we have our Patreon. Money sucks. I know that sucks. We introduced a new $1 level for folks that are just like, fuck it, I'm broke, but I want to give you guys $1 a month because I see the vision and I want to support what you're doing. It works out to a quarter a video, which I think is fair. Like if you watch a full video of ours and you're like, I'll pay a quarter for that video, sir, that seems very fair. So we'll drop a link to that. So there you go. The Danish is coming along. I do this like once every like 18 months. I start trying to relearn Danish.
Yeah, Babel.
We're thinking, no, if you're not Christian, you should stay here because then we're going to convert you. But yeah, I want to go. I don't know if it'll work out, but my wife and I kind of want to take our daughter on we want to do like a big trip this summer. And we were thinking of going to Denmark because we were thinking like, what's like a European city that's very like family kid friendly and Scandinavian. Jacob's Lord of the Chat. We have a Lord of the Chat before we're going. Heck yeah, heck yeah, heck yeah. Those gifts are the gift of salvation. The Lord of the Chat is our Lord. When I say this is a Christian stream, I mean the Lord of the Chat is our God. We fall at their feet. Thank you so much. But yeah, if you have it in you, consider signing up for Patreon, consider being a member on YouTube, and then you don't have to watch the ads that make you feel really upset. We're going to be back Wednesday for Wisecrack Live, guys. Wednesday. And the final thing I'll say, the reward for people that are hanging out is, guys, I'm fucked. The video coming out Friday is this Jordan Peterson thing. And then we were filming it, and it was going a little rough when filming it. But here's the whole thing, guys. A big point of the whole video was me saying that Jordan Peterson was wrong, because actually a lot of things in Catholicism and Catholic theology are like good, and he just wants to use it for transphobia. You know what the Pope did on Fridays, guys? The Pope on Friday gave a statement about dangerous gender ideology and literally said Jordan Peterson stuff. So now I have to get on a call after this with producer Olivia to figure out how we can, and this might involve Henry as well.
Oh yeah,
how we
it
can drop
definitely
some things.
does.
Yeah, so Henry's going to get some message about this later. We're going to have to film a few things that we drop in the video where I'm going to just be like, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Things are about to be said in this video that are no longer true. And it's just like, truly, guys, like filming that video last week was really rough for me because I was on solo dad duty for 2 days. We filmed the video later than normal. And then Friday, the fucking Pope. And this is supposed to be the cool Pope, guys. This is supposed to be the cool Pope. And the cool Pope just says Jordan Peterson stuff. So
we'll have some
know,
the magic of editing help us get something out to the people.
Yeah, but we'll just be honest with you. Copenhagen is in Denmark and not Sweden. And then can we just drop? We'll drop a Patreon link before we leave if we're cool doing that. And watch stuff, like stuff, support your friends. Be positive. Let's all just do something positive. It's Monday, guys. It's Monday. We got a long week ahead of us. Let's bring some sort of positive energy into it. However you think that should be. Jude Law was a sexier pope for sure. If I had to bang a pope, I would bang Jude Law over the current pope. Hashtag bang a pope challenge. Hashtag which pope would you bang? Hashtag Wisecrack says bang a pope. Hashtag better help. More like better bang a pope. So thank you so much for hanging out with us, guys. Thanks so much to producer Andrew for making it all happen. We'll be back Wednesday. We'll see you then. It's going to be huge. Wednesday's going to be huge. And I'll say this as a teaser as well. Not this Wednesday, but the week after, we'll do a stream where we get into some of the Jordan Peterson material that I couldn't include in the video because kind of like this happened last time. I did way more research and watching than we were able to include. So we'll do a sort of like a leftover special feature section. Bang a pope, leave a penny. Couldn't have said it better myself. We'll see you on Wednesday, guys. Bye.
Let us know if you bang a pope. Bye.